For Monday, April the 6th, 2015, a lot of talk all across the internet and news sources, news wires, of Operation Jade Helm, a mock simulation of rounding up the American people implementing martial law. What if this was a simulation being prepared for the power grids going down? Do they know something that they're not telling us? What about a massive solar Armageddon? Here's the headline to this article. It comes from Extinction Protocol, and I'll put the link below. New film highlights NASA's warning of a potential solar Armageddon that knocks out power grids across the globe. They need to crash the economy. They need to crash the dollar. What better way? They were already finding out they're not going to disarm the American people. American people are not going to give up their guns willingly. But what if they take out the power grids and blame it on a CME? April 2015. Solar storm. Here's the article, and I will put the link below. Listen carefully now. Perhaps, as a tech-savvy citizen, you are worried about the financial cost of data breaches or our increased vulnerability to terrorist hackers or the erosion of our digital civil liberties. Don't be. Instead, worry about the complete collapse of our power grid. And I've been saying this. NASA is warning that there's a 12% chance an extreme solar storm will hit Earth in the next decade. That's 10 years. Or by the summer, sending our massive shock waves that would knock out grids across the world. The economic impact of this doomsday scenario could exceed $2 trillion, and then that would bring in the new world order, a one world currency. You can't buy or sell without it, the mark of the beast. Now, this is not far-fetched, I'm telling you. Listen, or 20 times the cost of Hurricane Katrina, according to the National Academy of Science. NASA first made this warning in 2009 when a study it funded detailed that what might happen to our high-tech society in the event of a super solar flare. And we've had numerous of these CMEs and these solar flares. Essentially, the equivalent of bad space weather, an extreme geometric storm would follow melting copper windings of transformers at the heart of many power distribution centers. But few listened, and there was very little news coverage, I guess. Then in 2012, NASA's prediction almost came true, with Earth experiencing a close shave by a solar storm that tore into our orbit. The storm hit a solar observatory that was equipped to measure the impact, providing previous data that confirmed NASA's previous warnings of the severe consequences these storms pose. But again, few noticed recently, commemorating the 2-year anniversary of the near miss, NASA put out a press release with even more research, noting there's a 12% chance that such a catastrophic solar storm will, not maybe, will hit Earth in the next decade, with ramifications to modern society lasting for years. And again, no one has noticed. It turns out scientists are really bad at PR, public relations. To be fair to them, society's appreciation for science is not there. But the truth is that there is an issue every person on the planet should care about and not dismiss as far-fetched. In fact, it's happened twice before in a milder form in March of 1986, when 6 million people in Quebec lost power for 9 hours because of a small solar storm. And it happened after that. I can't remember the year, but it hit Canada and the northeast part of the United States, and we were without power. They called it a brownout, and that's when people came together. Actually, at that time, neighbors came together, and we helped one another. But I do remember that happening. That's after 1986. Let me find my place. 6 million people in Quebec lost power for 9 hours because of a small solar storm. The one I remember is when they started to jack up the gas prices, and it was bad. Long lines at the gas station. Um, and back in 1859, a series of powerful solar storms hit Earth head-on, disabling our global telegraph system. The problem is that now our society is much more susceptible to bad space weather because of our reliance on our reliance on power grids that are increasingly interconnected. It makes economic sense, but it also leaves us vulnerable to cascading failures. There is no way to stop a solar storm or the United States military and the UN with a laser hitting the surface of the sun to cause a massive solar storm. You hear me? With the technology that they have today, advanced weapons of space wars, to shoot a laser into the sun and cause a massive solar storm and take out the power grids and cause the economy to collapse and bring about martial law. Maybe that's what they're doing with Operation Jade Helm. Oh, the problem is that now our society is much more susceptible to bad space weather because of our reliance on power grids that are increasingly interconnected. It makes economic sense, but it also leaves us vulnerable to cascading failures. There is no way to stop a laser, but a solar storm, but there could be a way to warn us one is coming, and that's what I'm doing now. They're going to take out the power grids by having sun orbiting satellites on the lookout for flare-ups, giving us a chance to shut down our global power grid until the storm passes. Maybe it's fitting that on Labor Day, this is interesting, maybe it's fitting that on Labor Day, are they telling us something here? We should call for the heroic workers at NASA to get the respect they deserve and the funding necessary. Labor Day? I'll put the link to this article below. Operation Jade Helm. Labor Day? Are they trying to tell us something? Will it be a massive CME solar storm, or will they bring down the power grids? Something to think about. Leave me comments. Subscribe to my channel.